What's up? How you doing? When I was a kid, you always had an adult come up to you, 45 years old and older, and you'd be hanging around with your friends and they would say, "What are you guys gonna do when you grow up? What kind of job are you gonna have?" And everybody would look at each other and go, "I don't know. I don't know what kind of job I'm gonna have." Except for me, I knew exactly the kind of job I wanted to have. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to explore the universe. I wanted to go to the moon, get some rocks. And I think the main reason I wanted to be an astronaut is because my favorite show at the time was The $6 Million Man. And Steve Austin was an astronaut. So anything Steve Austin did, I had to do. So I was fascinated with that, being an astronaut. That lasted a few years until I got to a certain age when I realized that's not going to happen. I have to limit that pool of job options I have and eliminate the astronaut from it. So I started thinking, what else do I enjoy? What other kind of work do I see myself doing? And I said, janitor. I want to be a janitor. I like the idea of going into a place when it's empty, mopping it up, maybe cleaning a few desks, and then before everybody comes back to work or whatever it is, I'm gone. I start looking around thinking, what place can I go and get a janitor's job at? And I looked around, I said, Lincoln, Nebraska, Lincoln High School. And then there was another place, Elliott School. That's another place I was interested in. Then there was a school called Whittier Elementary School. It's not there anymore. I mean, the building is there, but I don't think it's school anymore. I said, that's a good place to be a janitor. Then I started thinking, what do I want to be a janitor for? And I realized the reason I wanted to be a janitor is because my idol, Hong Kong Phooey, Henry, he was a janitor. And I think that's the reason why, to this day, I want to be a janitor. And in those days, I thought I would live on South 29th Street and M Street, right on the corner. There's a White House, a big White House with a porch, big chimney in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I thought I'd be living in that house by the time I reached my age now. But that didn't happen. I still look at that house and I go, yeah, it's a good place to live. Nice backyard, looks very roomy inside. Another thing I was thinking about, haberdashery. I like to work in the haberdashery department or a store that is just a haberdashery store. Very interested in haberdashery. So I ended up going to high school. I was thinking what to do. So I'd like to start a band. So I got my friend Filiatro Stivoletti and Mr. Gapple involved. Filiatro, he played the calliope. Self-taught, but he was good at it. My friend Stivoletti played the tuba. Every band should have a tuba player. It thickens the sound. And myself, I was interested in the tambourine, but I didn't know how to play it and I couldn't afford lessons. So I tried to learn from a book, but I wasn't very good at it. And of course my friend Mr. Gapple, he managed us for a couple of weeks. He was the brains. Didn't work out. Our sound wasn't traditional enough, so we didn't have a following. Although at the time I thought we were going to make good money doing that, playing at pubs or street corners. Didn't work out. I think of those guys. Filiatro, he ended up opening up a lounge called Tranquility. Very successful, always busy there. Stivoletti ended up going to Greenland. He gives tours on how to spot Bigfoot. In the 80s, his father, he went on a hiking expedition to Greenland and never returned. They assumed he died. My friend Stivoletti thinks he's going to find his father on a block of clear ice. He knows it's a hoax. He's not really finding any Bigfoot because it doesn't exist. Mr. Gapple, he's responsible for coming up with the mathematical formulas that put man on the moon. So he's a successful mathematician. I talk to them every so often. Yeah, the years went by. So a while ago I planted some watermelon here. It's growing well. Kind of ironic considering there's no water out here.